Hello people on the internet. Today I wanted to show you how I improved my handwriting throughout the past couple of months. I think these tips can benefit anyone who wants to improve their handwriting regardless of how your current penmanship looks like. The first thing I did was to actually find inspiration. The Studygram or StudyBlur community can offer great inspiration sources. My personal favorites are Itty Studies, Nata Studies, and StudyQuill on Instagram. I will link their respective accounts down in the description box below, so make sure to check them out because their handwriting is golds. Capital G-O-A-L-S. I tried to find some common denominators among their different styles and noticed how none of them really connect their letters, meaning they are not writing cursive, which is something that really can help the overall look of your handwriting. The next thing I did was to actually look over my older handwriting and figure out exactly what I didn't like and what I did like. Without spending hours of practicing, which if you have the time you can definitely do, you won't really be able to copy someone else's handwriting 100%. So instead of copying, you want to try really improving, and that starts with your own handwriting. Mine wasn't bad to begin with, but it did look messy. The letters were not clean and they were also quite inconsistent and also wider. And I connected my letters a lot, so I made sure not to do that anymore, and I also changed certain letters, for example my capital G, M and W, and my lowercase l, t and g's. So whenever I write these letters, I'm more conscious of how I want them to look. These small changes make a huge difference, so pay attention to your own handwriting. The third tip is to be conscious when writing, which means to write slower at first. This might seem tedious, but on a long-term basis, it really changes your handwriting permanently. Your brain and muscle will remember the movements much better, and you're going to be able to write faster in the future. But to be honest, for me, if I want to write neatly, I still write slower than before, so make sure to be okay with it. If you have to take notes in class, your handwriting will most likely not look super neat because you are under time pressure. However, the fourth tip can really balance that out to a certain point, and that is to figure out your preferences by asking yourself some questions. The first one would be, what pen do you like to write with? For some, it might be a pencil, a ballpoint pen, or a gel pen. I do realize that most Studygrammers use a gel pen, but if you like to use a ballpoint pen, please do not switch to gel pen just because other people use it. I mean, of course you can try it out, but don't force yourself to like something that you really don't. For me personally, I guess I can write equally well with all of them. Maybe not the mechanical pencil, but as long as the nib size is right, I'm okay. And that is the second question. What nib size do you prefer? When I write with anything thinner than 0.5 millimeters, it will start to look messier and shakier. So I tend to avoid thin pens unless it's for other purposes such as drawing, which is the reason why I own thinner pens to begin with. The third question you want to ask yourself is, what paper pattern do you like? I know this might seem trivial, but I find myself writing a lot cleaner on grid paper. Whenever I write on ruled paper, my handwriting gets inconsistent, so if you're like me, then stick to your favorite paper pattern. Last but not least, practice a lot. Writing is fun to me personally, so I don't really see it as work, but if you really want to improve your handwriting, then practice is key. I hope that you guys can see the difference between my older and my newer handwriting, because that is all just practicing, just writing. So I hope these simple tips can really help you improve your own handwriting. And I really want to emphasize the fact that you really want to improve your own handwriting, not copy someone else's straight away, because that is a lot more work. But of course, you're free to do whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Bye bye, take care.